Alright, so we're back, of course, talking about some Final Fantasy VII. We are once again discussing Crisis Core Reunion because we got a couple of updates today. The main one being that you are now able to pre-order the game, at least from Amazon. It's kind of weird because there's not like an official announcement yet from Square Enix, at least not as of right now, as of recording. This is actually a pretty common thing where like a game is revealed and it might not come out for a while, but you're able to pre-order from Amazon for like a long time. I think this actually happened with a remake, if I'm not mistaken, like because the game was revealed back in 2015. I think sometime back then, you could already place a pre-order for the game from Amazon, and obviously Remake didn't come out until goddamn 2020. I'm not sure if like Amazon pre-orders going live is indicative like of an upcoming announcement or something, because you think Square Enix would want to officially announce it, right? Like drop maybe another teaser or another trailer or something for Crisis Core Reunion. Maybe they're waiting to do some sort of an official announcement once you're able to actually pre-order on everything, because as of right now it's just Amazon. I'm pretty sure these are just physical copies. I don't think you can pre-order a digital code yet. I think you can buy games digitally from Amazon. Could be wrong there. I haven't bought games ever on Amazon, personally. Anyways, why we're here is to look at these Amazon listings, because they give us a handful of important details and things when it comes to Crisis Core Reunion. For one, we have a placeholder cover art, which for now is just the logo. That probably won't be the finalized cover art, at least for us. Why I say that is because when it came to like Final Fantasy VII Remake, for example, the Japanese cover art was different. It wasn't anything like what we have. It was literally just a black cover with the Remake logo. Obviously, it was done intentionally and probably some sort of like an homage to the original FF7 Japanese version that was just a white cover with the FF7 logo. I'm assuming that's why they did that for the Japanese version of Remake. But I'd argue that like the original FF7 cover that we know on the English side of things is just better, like infinitely better and way more iconic, right? Because the Japanese version is just kind of nothing. The point of bringing all this up is that they could go the route of just using the logo for Crisis Core Reunion as the cover art. They have a history of doing that sometimes. I don't think they're going to do that. I think for us, at least in the West, for sure it's going to be probably something very similar to the PSP cover art, but like obviously updated to some degree. At the very least, I assume that they would update the Buster Sword design on the cover art if they want to mimic the PSP one, just because we know that they're using the remake design when it comes to Reunion. The other important thing that we can derive from these Amazon listings is the price, which for a lot of people might be the most important thing. And as of right now, it looks like the game is going to be $50, which I think is a pretty fair price. And I say that because, for one, very often remasters are full price. Like, super often over the last however many years, if they remaster a game, it's usually $60. It's not always the case. Sometimes games are $50. Sometimes they're as low as, like, $20 when it came to, like, I think when they brought Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 to, like, PS4 and Xbox One, I'm pretty sure those were only $20 games, which is, like, a fantastic price. But I say this is a fair price because, for one, I was expecting $60, and it's less than that, so that's a good thing. But also, this game isn't just, like, a remaster, right? Like, visually, it's way, way better than the original PSP version. But even just putting the visuals aside, they seem to have overhauled the combat. I think they've even updated the CGI scenes. As I mentioned previously, they changed the Buster Sword throughout the entire goddamn game. They also re-recorded all the dialogue with new voice actors. And as a lot of us are expecting, there might be some new shit in this game. Potentially like a new secret ending or whatever the case that connects it to Remake. So again, it's more than just a simple remaster. Plus, it's a game we've been wanting ported or brought to other platforms for 15 years now. So I think $50, pretty solid price. The other thing we got to talk about that's kind of funny is the date that accompanies these Amazon listings, because people were kind of freaking out about it on Twitter once the shit was making the rounds earlier. Because according to Amazon, the game's coming out March 31st, 2023. But as the majority of people I think would know out there, that's a placeholder date. For one, we were given a time frame for when this game is going to release anyways. We're never told a specific date or month, right? And this winter does not mean December. Winter is anywhere from December this year all the way to March of next year. So even if they wanted to release the game March 31st of next year, that would still line up for when they said the game was coming out. But the main thing is, I just found it kind of weird that people didn't know what a placeholder date was, just because these are super common. Like, if there's a game coming out that doesn't have a release date yet, but you can pre-order on Amazon, it'll tell you December 31st of whatever year. Whatever this year, next year, whatever the case. Whenever you can pre-order it. When there's not an official release date, that's a placeholder date. It's very similar to 16. 16's coming out next summer, right? Which summer ends, like, September. So more than likely, once you can pre-order Final Fantasy 16, it'll have a placeholder date of September 31st, 2023. Even though that's probably not when it's coming out. Hell, when it comes to FF7 Rebirth, that's coming out next winter. A very similar like release window as Crisis Core Reunion. So whenever you can pre-order Rebirth, it'll probably tell you March 31st, 2024. Even though that's maybe not when it's going to come out. As of right now, when it comes to Crisis Core Reunion, I wouldn't even sweat the release date because there's such a large window. It's a 4-month window. It could come out December this year, or January, February, or March of next year. Like, there's just too big of a gap there to even speculate or think of when it could release. So just wait until they officially announce something. But for those out there that maybe didn't know what a placeholder date is, going forward, now you will. Like, if you see, like, December 31st of any year, that's a placeholder date. Or just in general, if it's, like, the last day of a month, like March 31st or April 30th or something like that. Like, those are placeholder dates usually. But my dudes, that'll be more or less the video. Like, right now, this is only useful if you're wanting, for one, a physical copy of Crisis Core Reunion, but also if you're only getting it on either PS5, Nintendo Switch, or Xbox Series XS or One. Because they, oddly enough, don't have the PS4 version up there right now, which I thought was kind of weird. It is super nice, however, if you just want to get the purchase out of the way, like maybe you have the extra $50 here now and you just want to get it and not think about it for like half a year. My thing is, I don't know if there's going to be any sort of pre-order bonuses anywhere, like at GameStop or Walmart or Amazon, but also I don't know if there's any differences between platforms, right? The game's the same price on every platform and it's coming out on everything, but is it going to perform better on like Series X and S and PS5 than it would on PS4 or Xbox One, or is the game going to be the exact same across the board? Is it going to be visually different on next gen, or I guess technically current gen consoles, or what, right? I just don't know the differences between the versions, so for now I'm just going to hold off on buying it. Plus, I'm probably going to buy it digitally anyways, so as of right now, this Amazon thing doesn't really help me personally. But of course, my dudes, that is the video. Pass off to you guys. When it comes to Crisis Core Reunion, for one, are you going to pre-order? Are you buying it now on Amazon? Do you want to wait to see if there's any sort of bonuses or differences? But also, what platform do you plan on buying the game? Are you going to buy it physically? Are you going to buy it digitally? What are your thoughts? And also, since we're talking about the date a little bit in this video, when do you expect Crisis Core Reunion to come out? I'm thinking sometime next year just because there's such a large window. I hope it comes out December this year, but I just don't think it will. I'm expecting sometime next year. Either way, dudes, that is the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys aren't anyone studying more Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion content. That's going to be hard to keep saying in the future. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter, #YT, and my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Rogaine, or leave it like Cobain.